everyone, and welcome to the S34 ISFL Draft. Um, I am your host, CC. I'm also the GM of the Chicago Butchers, and I have several wonderful people hosting with me tonight, if they want to introduce themselves now.
Hi, I'm Mojo Jojo or Mojo, and I am one of the GMs of the Sarasota Sailfish.
Good evening. I am Pat, and I am one of the general managers for the Philadelphia Liberty.
I'm Russ Drives the Bus, one of the GMs for the San Jose SaberCats.
And I'm Zoot, GM for the Yellowknife Wraiths.
Sorry, I was looking at the chat, and it seemed like they couldn't hear us for a second. Okay, let me turn it up just a little bit. All right. Well, is that a little bit better? Oh no, they're saying I'm quiet, Russ. You lied to me.
Oh no, not again.
Yes, Dogwood, go dogs. All right, well, let's get started. So, uh, with the first pick in the S34 ISFL Draft, the New Orleans second line select a trade. Pat, since you were involved in this trade, you want to talk about it a little bit?
Well, we knew sitting at 4, we had one kind of top prospect this entire draft that we really didn't think was going to be there at 4 overall. So, we put some work in with New Orleans and found a trade partner there and had him go up and get the guy that we really wanted, who was Theo Lariat, kicker for Minnesota, and that is user C Tots. So I know when the first mock draft of the season came out from Mag, I think he mocked Tots at number 2 or number 3.
I think it was two,
And
yeah.
yeah, it was 2 overall. And Tots was surprised to see himself going that high. And so I'm really excited to see what his reaction is going to be when he finds out not only did he go first overall, but that we traded up to get him. Um, and if you don't know Tots, just a fantastic user. During his first season in the league, he's already joined the graphics team and head office. I really think he's just got that energy and personality to be one of the new stars of the league. And really, we couldn't be happier to have been able to make this trade and go and get him a first overall. So, Tots, welcome to Philadelphia.
If you don't know Tots, you will. That's what we're saying.
Absolutely.
I'm so sorry. I forgot to switch the scene over. So now everyone's seeing the pick. Boo indeed, yes. All right. Next up we have the Yellowknife Wraiths at 2 overall.
Yeah, so I've known Youngarius. He created as William Lim, season 22, the same time I joined the league. And sorry, I'm having some technical difficulties. And I know him pretty well. He's a rookie mentor. I think lots of people around the league know him, and so we were super excited to get him this time around with his new character, Simon the Frog.
Dude, Young is a machine. I've gotten to know him in my time with the RM team, and he's just all over it. Anything you ask him to do, he's going to do. And he's a crazy earner. Just a super fun dude. I believe he's from Korea, and he is just so positive and fun. And that render, by the way, is
I was going to mention that. Very cool
wild.
render.
Is that a Froakie? Just a Froakie skeleton?
I guess so. I don't know. All right. Next up at 3 overall, San Jose is on the clock.
Yes. And we at 3 selected Louis Blondin. And this one, Gordon Bombay came in as I think one of the first rookies that I got in contact with when I took over for Schwarz as rookie mentor head. And he latched onto this league so quickly. He's in SHL and I think he likes that the pay is better here. He's getting money a little easier, and he earned every TP that you could. I think he was the second in the class for TP coming into the draft, and he's just an absolute wild animal with it. He earned every bit you could. Super active. So yeah, and this will fill one of our biggest needs immediately. So Blondin, super excited to get him at 3. Definitely thought he was going to go 1 or 2. So it worked out. Very happy about it.
All right, congratulations, Bombay. Now New Orleans is back on the clock, and at 4 overall.
Yes. With the 4th overall pick in the draft, the New Orleans second line select Ganyu, linebacker from the Bondi Beach Buccaneers, user GlibsTC. Myth Randier, the GM of the second line, has these nice words to say about Glims. He says, Glims is a well-known user in the league with a reputation of being one of the kindest and most well-liked users. We are looking forward to the experience and enthusiasm that Glims will bring to our roster. I also have a personal note to add to the notes that I received from Nola, which is that Glims was actually the DSFL GM who picked me up on waivers when I first created in the league. And I couldn't have had a better welcoming to the league. And really, he helped me to learn about what it was like to be a user and to have a player in the league. And I think he's just a wonderful person to have in the locker room, and so Nola has a great pick here for many seasons to come.
Love Glims. So good. Happy they're back.
CC, you're laying up, but I don't hear you saying anything.
Oh.
Oh man.
Oh, no, it's his mic again.
Oh no.
Can you hear me now?
There we go.
Yes.
Okay, no, we're good. We're good. Sorry.
Everything's fine.
All right, next up we have New York at pick 5.
All right, with the 5th overall pick, the New York Silverbacks select Michelangelo McTurtle, running back from Tijuana. This is user Slothface Killa. Notes from New York. Cowabunga. I had a great time scouting Sloth this season. He was one of my favorite conversations during the scouting time. With running back becoming a big position of need for us, this looked like a match made in heaven. Sloth is a proven Sim League vet and a very good locker room presence, and we are thrilled to be bringing a Ninja Turtle home to New York. Personal note, Sloth is just one of my favorite people that I've met in this league. Hilarious, just a great personality. His last player was Ben Slothesberger, quarterback turned center. It's been great to see the McTurtle revolution happening in Tijuana, and he's been a big part of that. So, Sloth, congratulations on the top 5 pick, buddy.
Okay, next up we have Honolulu on the clock. Who's reading for Honolulu? Okay. I'll go find my notes.
There should be a trade for this.
Oh, okay. My bad. We have a trade. Surprise. So it looks like
Got him.
Berlin is receiving the 6th overall pick and quarterback Joliet Christ Jr., while Honolulu is receiving Berlin quarterback and co-GM Dexter Zalerin and Berlin's 3rd round pick for next season. So now we have Berlin on the clock.
So I'm reading for Berlin, and they put for the trade, they said, when looking at the direction of Berlin, we want to continue to try and be competitive in our conference, while also acquiring more assets to help build a new young core as our team is getting heavily into regression. Laser had the idea to put himself on the block, and we worked out a great trade with Honolulu. Laser has made the decision to continue his successful career with Dexter Zalerin and will be stepping down as the Berlin GM immediately. This was a pretty big trade, and it had been in GM chat when this came through. There was a lot of "oh my goodness, what's going on" type of stuff. So
Yeah, this is a very, very interesting move, but it'll shake things up. But I think probably a solid move for Berlin to get a new top pick to start building up, like they said.
Yeah, huge trade. One of the biggest I've seen. Somehow I forgot about it whenever we were ready for the slide. But let's see who they pick here with this pick.
Berlin is going to take with the 6th pick overall wide receiver Zane Dangle, Lare from Bondi Beach Buccaneers. They wrote about him. Vaxlare is someone I expect to go in the first few picks when they were available. At pick 6, it made the trade easier. Said they know they're a juniors GM in the SHL with the G 2019, so they know how to build a team and a locker room, and they look forward to having them help shape the future of the Berlin team. So Zane Dangle will be your pick number 6 to Berlin.
All right. Next up, we have Colorado.
Yes. With the round 1 pick, 7th pick of the draft, Colorado selects Nathan Explosion, defensive end from the London Royals, user MyCool132. And I have notes from the Colorado GM who says, "We were thrilled to get MyCool with this 7th pick. He's shown himself to be a great user in the SHL, and we know he will carry that over in the ISFL as well. He will be a solid presence in our locker room and fills an immediate position of need on the defensive line for us. We plan to call him up right away so we can get going on what we hope to be a long and storied career as a member of Colorado Yeti." And with my DSFL home being the London Royals, I'm a bit sad to see him getting called up so quickly and leaving the locker room, because he's really just been a joy to have around. But I wish him the best of luck in Colorado, and I think Colorado's made a great pick here.
All right. Glad to hear that McCool is going to have a good home with Tesla and G, though. Next up, we have Berlin again at pick 8.
With pick 8, the Berlin Fire Salamanders are going to take quarterback Bageshwari Singh, user Rapid Eagle from the Bondi Beach Buccaneers. They said after being an OCO lifer and Rapid's previous player, he recreated at quarterback and has been on our radar since then as the replacement for Zellren because of his connection with Laser. Although Laser is gone now, with Christ Jr. coming in, it creates a great transition that is timed a little better than Zellren would have been, and our faith in Rapid to create a great quarterback is high. We're very pleased to have him and looking forward to his career with the Fire Salamanders and getting that Hulu money. I don't really know what that means, but it must be a joke that someone else gets.
Probably. Hulu has live sports, man. You know that.
Oh.
It's got to be a Russell Wilson joke, right?
Sure.
Isn't he in their commercials?
Who knows?
He might be, I don't know.
Not me. I'm a Seahawks fan. Why would I know that? That's a good jersey swap, though.
Definitely, yeah. All right. Next up, Austin is on the clock.
With the 9th overall pick in the season 34 draft, the Austin Copperheads select Joey Din, defensive end from Minnesota, user Matty Ose 971. Austin had this to say about their pick here. Matty is a user we've really had our eye on since we started our draft scouting. They play defense, which is a need for us at the moment, just defense in general. They've been active in the Grey Ducks server, and they already have 2 jobs. One as an auditor and another with Moody's regression team. Quick aside, so if you don't like your TPE being stolen, this is maybe someone to yell at. We are looking we're looking forward to what he can contribute to the team, and we're very excited to add them to the locker room and the team overall. Congratulations, Maddie. Austin got a great pick here. Maddie was just a great user all around. Like they said, 2 jobs right out of the gate is super impressive for a new user.
Yep, congratulations to Maddie on becoming a member of the Austin Copperheads and becoming a member of the recruitment team with me. Next up, we have my Butchers. So, with the 10th pick in the draft, the Chicago Butchers select running back Rumble Ronson, user Mr. Stinnett. Now, here's a guy that loves his lawn and loves to tell kids to get off of it. I legitimately thought that I legitimately thought that Stinnett would be a top 5 pick, so I knew we needed to figure out a way to make him fit with the team. He's a great user, and he even has a little bit of history with the Butchers. His old Hall of Fame player, Skarsgård, played with the Butchers shortly, and during that time he was also a member of the War Room, if I know my Butchers history correctly. Another little-known fact is that Stinnett is the official groundskeeper of the Butchers Stadium. If you're in the server and you ping groundskeeper, that is Stinnett. I'm excited that we get to bring Stinnett back for another go-around with the team. And also, we really did unironically talk about our lawns during our scouting conversation. So.
Has a better lawn.
Oh, it's definitely him. I'm about to have to dig mine up for sewage issues. So.
Oh, brother, not again.
Yep.
Bless.
Life of a homeowner. All right, next up we have Sarasota.
Yes, with the 11th overall pick, the Sarasota Sailfish select Lucius Salem, wide receiver, user I am Satan Jr. Don't let their username fool you. All the interactions we have had with them have been divine. I am Satan Jr. is a dedicated user that has just stepped into the role of GM of the Norfolk Seawolves in the DSFL after just their first season in the league. We're very excited to have them develop as a top-tier receiving option for our young quarterback. Very excited to see what Salem and Salim can do on our offense. And we can't be more excited to welcome you to Sarasota. So congratulations. I am Satan Jr. Welcome to the Sailfish.
Okay, so that explains it. You wanted the joke. You wanted Celine and Salem.
You were so excited to say Salim and Salem.
That was the happiest. That's why they made this pick. I understand everything now. It's all clear to me.
All right, next up we have Arizona.
Oh, that's me. Wow. Okay, Arizona at 12. They have selected another wide receiver, Captain Billy Stinkwater, used for Bronx Bombers. Bronx is a longtime Arizona War Room member that predates both of the current GMs for Arizona. He's been influential in maintaining the Arizona culture, and they are super pleased to get him back on the team. And with that amount of TPE, I definitely understand that.
The Sim loved Bronx Bombers on his last player, so for his sake, I hope that this player sees just as much Sim luck. But next up, at pick 13, the Orange County Otters will select to trade. So it looks like New Orleans is going to receive this pick and Orange County's second round pick, while Orange County is receiving pick 15 and pick 19 in this draft. So, let's see who New Orleans takes.
So NOLA trades up here to select Soulless Avenger, defensive tackle, user Mobius Grander from the Dallas Bird Box. And I have notes here from Myth, the GM of NOLA, who says, Moby is the heart and soul of the New Orleans second line locker room. Without fail, he can be found in the locker room during game streams, cheering on the team and getting everyone else hyped up. He always believes that we should win every game, and his enthusiasm is infectious. They're very pleased that he will be returning to NOLA. And I know that when we had a great scouting conversation with Moby, he said that his heart was really in NOLA, and this is where he wanted to go back to. And so we're really glad to see that he has landed back in his home, and looking forward to seeing what Soulless Avenger can do in New Orleans.
I briefly convinced Moby that Chicago would be the correct place for him, but as you said, he really wanted to be back in NOLA, so I couldn't do it. I had to let him go back. Next up,
Moby's awesome.
He's so much fun on in Chicago game nights.
Yeah.
All right, next up we have Baltimore.
Me? Baltimore with 14, I think, did some funny business. Hey!
It's a trade with the Yellowknife Wraiths. They traded us their round 1 pick and round 2 pick, and we traded them 2 round 2 picks. Moved up a little bit with one pick and down a little bit with the other. We were both happy with that arrangement. And we traded up for wide receiver Darius Bailey, user Drizzy from the Tijuana Luchadors. We have a lot of wide receivers right now, but they are all in regression with the exception of one. And if anyone noticed this season, we like to throw the ball a lot, so we needed another wide receiver. And we had a list of players we wanted to take with our next pick, and they kept getting smaller and smaller. And Baltimore offered us this trade, and so we decided that it was a good trade for us. And user Dead Lunatic, who's one of our wide receivers, is in Tijuana with Drizzy and spoke very highly of him. And so that was enough for us to trade up to take Drizzy. He's had a couple of successful players in this league, and so we're hoping he can bring that success to Yellowknife.
Nice.
Man,
yeah,
I feel like we've already had a lot of trades.
we have. It was an active first round.
Yeah, I kind of forgot. It got wild.
Yeah. All right, next up we have Orange County, who I'm reading for. And with the 15th pick in the ISFL draft, the Orange County Otters select wide receiver Alex Armstrong, user Element. Orange County had this to say. After trading out of the first round, we are super happy to snag Element in the second. We believe that he is a first round talent and will make an excellent addition to our receiver core. Welcome to Oko. Russ and I are both in Kansas City locker room, and Element has been pretty awesome over there. Active, nice, good earner, and look at those stats.
Yeah, he had a great season.
Yep.
But I have issue with you saying Oko. I don't know that anyone else has that. I think it's you and Painted.
Well,
You're like the only ones.
great minds think alike.
Or speaking at Echo Chamber.
Couldn't be that one. Okay.
Nope, couldn't be.
Next up, we have Baltimore.
And Baltimore is me. Okay. 16. Baltimore selects Evok, Franz, Udo, Kuhlman, Kaiser. An offensive lineman. So they said this was one of the most fun scouting conversations they had during their scouting process. Evok is loved around many sim leagues and will be a major player for Baltimore going forward. A hard-working offensive lineman for the beach will spread their wings and fly north to join their DSFL GM in Baltimore.
The Ultimus champion Baltimore Hawks. Thank you.
It do
You're
be
not
like
even in
that.
this. You're not even part of this stream, Infinite. Go away.
Yeah,
Come on
yeah.
now.
Nobody asked you.
Stream.
He's just
Nobody
here,
asked you, bird boy.
He's here so that he can put himself down for getting paid for the stream. That's what it is.
Smart. Can't,
Gotta get
can't
to
knock
1
it.
billion somehow.
Get that bag.
All right. Next up, we have San Jose.
And that is actually me. And with this pick, we selected another trade. So, if you don't know, in the ISFL draft, if you have a GM that has a player in the draft, you have to take them with your second round pick. So, we decided to move this one down, and we found a partner in Yellowknife, and they get to move up pretty much the entire round to get whoever they select here. And we get some good value there with me. I think, is that the last pick in this round? 28, I think, is the last pick in this round. So
Yes.
about as much value as we possibly could have gotten out of it. So we were happy with the deal.
All right, and with that pick, the Yellowknife Wraiths selected linebacker Sam Sung, user the NC206 from the Dallas Bird Dogs. As a former GM in Dallas, I still hang out quite a bit in the Dallas locker room, and he's been a huge new user this season. I believe he's already got a job as a rookie mentor, amongst other things. And we saw an opportunity to trade up to get him both as a user and as a player, and more than happy to do that. I'm super excited about the players we've gotten so far in this draft. So
To be fair,
Yeah.
I messaged you immediately after this pick and, yelled at you for it because it is such a good pick. NC is
Yeah.
just such a good user.
This one definitely hurt us because it happened right after we traded the pick, but I mean, we couldn't take him here, but seeing him go immediately with that pick really was like, ouch. But fantastic user, hopefully going to be here for a very long time. So,
All right. Next up, we have Pat and his Liberty.
All right, with the 18th overall pick in the Season 34 draft, the Philadelphia Liberty select Erwin Kemp, wide receiver from Norfolk. That is user Jay Dortald. Jay Dortald is a veteran ISFL player, user. His last player, Brendan Lanier, was a 3-time Ultimates champion at safety. With the retirement of Jake Venkick at wide receiver, we knew we needed to get another young player to match up with Escanor Sama, our first round pick from a couple of seasons ago. Jay Dortald has a history of being a good earner. He knows what he's doing, and we just know that with him and Sama together, we don't need to really worry about wide receivers for, the next 7-8 seasons probably. So, Dortald, welcome to Philadelphia.
Yeah, JD's previous player was on a Sarasota with us at the end before he retired, and we just love him and hope he has a great time in Philadelphia. And I think it was right after this pick that I messaged you and was just like, treat JD well. And I know you guys will over in Philadelphia.
Okay. With the 19th pick in the ISFL draft, the Orange County Otters select safety Tom Taylor, user Thomason. Shrub said, after having a great scouting conversation with Thomason, we were really excited to see him still available at this pick. His goal is to become the top safety in the ISFL, and we look forward to helping him achieve that. Welcome to the team. Sorry, Shrub, but that's what you wrote. I had to say it.
got him.
Yep. Gotta do it to him. Okay. Next up we have Honolulu. Which I think is Zoot.
sorry, I had myself muted. Honolulu picks with the 20th pick of the draft. They're going to pick Spot Robodog linebacker from Portland Pythons, user Timo Zura. And what they wrote was, we're excited about Timo, a vet of the league, and Beck and Flex know him well from when they were both drafted by him to Norfolk. And they're looking to reinforce their Norfolk presence in Honolulu so Ice Bear doesn't get too strong. So they're trying to keep Ice Bear from just running the place, I guess, there in Honolulu.
Good call.
And so
Very
congratulations to Spot Robodog for going to Honolulu.
Ever since that Black Mirror episode, those dogs, that Boston Dynamics dog just freaks me out.
Yeah, true. I think this also might be a sneaky, amazing pick. Like, the user is obviously great, but I also think they've got a bunch of hidden TPE that puts
Unclaimed.
them, way higher in the class. So this could be a very, very good pick.
Makes sense. All right. Next up, Colorado's on the clock.
Yes, and with the 21st pick of the second round, Colorado selects to trade.
Okay, so it looks like they give up this pick to move back 2 picks and grab a third next draft. That looks like a great trade. And next up, Austin is ready to pick.
And with this pick, Austin trades up to select, I'm going to butcher this name, I'm sorry, Ozimataz Buckshank,
So close.
quarterback, close enough, quarterback from Norfolk. That is user Connor M123. And Austin had this to say about their pick here. When we saw the opportunity to trade up for Connor in the second round, we knew we had to take it. He is an absolute steal at 21, and with him being Frazzle's in real life friend, in quotes, it is a big bonus. He will be a big addition to our offense, and hopefully he brings a championship experience from Norfolk to Austin. Connor His last player was the Xmas Waxon Jackson Waxon, I think. So he loves the Key and Peele names. Fantastic user. And like you said, CC, this was almost a slam dunk trade for him to get up here and go get this player.
Mm-hmm. I feel like they gave up a little bit much, but they had to do it to reunite Connor and Frazzle. So I don't blame them one bit.
Scots. You got to get Scots in your locker room. That's how you build a good locker room.
Well, no wonder
They're both
our locker
from
room's
they're both
so
from
bad.
Scotland. You need it. You need it.
All right, Baltimore's on the clock.
That's so true. And they have selected Boone McCoy, quarterback, Pinokazoa. They had to say that Noka falling this far was honestly shocking. They jumped on the chance to take one of the best locker room personalities around. We'll have a quarterback of the future ready to go when their ultimate champion, Gimme, hangs them up. Noka's been around forever. I want to say that he designed
Yes.
the Soda logo
The old
previous to the current. Yeah.
one.
And he's been around for a long time. Great veteran, knows the game. So this is definitely a very valuable pick here this late in the second.
Yes, very good pick here. And now Colorado is on the clock again.
Yes, so having traded down in this round, Colorado now selects at pick 23. Cross Erickson, safety from the Minnesota Grey Ducks, user Tesla. This is a GM pick, but I have notes from the other GM, G 2019. And he said, I had to take the opportunity to shout out Tesla, one of the kindest, most intelligent, and best overall users of the league. Cross Erickson will also come up to the big leagues right away and fill our hole at safety, and we can't wait to see how this player performs. And I think everyone can agree with the kind words from G 2019. Tesla is just one of the most lovely people to interact with here in the league. And so congratulations, Tesla, on being picked by yourself.
And we can also all agree that this was a reach.
You're going to say it. Wow.
A reach,
say
bro.
it.
Hard reach.
I was
bro.
just about to say that usually it's a meme that we say reach on any GM pick, but I can't
Well,
bring myself.
I just have to live the meme.
I can't bring
You gotta
myself
do
to
it.
say it about Tesla. I can't do it.
Well, they could have traded down to 27, couldn't they? Reach.
Very true. All
Tesla's
right.
amazing. We know this.
Yes, she is. Okay, Chicago's finally back on the clock again. And with the 24th pick, the Butchers select tight end Virginia Emmett, user Basserberger. I think Basserberger is a bit of an under-the-radar pick. I have both of the Kansas City GMs, First Fran Amadon, in the Chicago War Room, and I also happen to be in their War Room, along with Russ. Berger was actually added to the KCC War Room this season. They're still kind of trying to find their place there, find their role, but this just shows the huge potential that Berger has, so we're super excited to find a spot on our team where Berger can shine.
One of the roles they definitely fit is hype man. Game
Absolutely.
days, I mean, you can barely get a message in the locker room edgewise. He's in there at play by play, so it's a fun time.
Love to have it on your team, yeah. Okay, next up we have Mojo and the Sailfish.
Yes. So with the 25th pick of the draft, the Sarasota Sailfish select Titus Sampson, safety, user Slippy. So my co-GM ABH89 really loved his scouting conversation with Slippy, and we were looking for a solid young defensive back to help support our roster longevity. We tried to trade up with Colorado to pick him, and when that deal fell through, we had to anxiously watch the next few picks come in, but we were ecstatic when Slippy was still on the board here. Sarasota is a defensive dynasty, and we know that Slippy will slip right into the ranks alongside his fellow fish. Welcome to the team.
So I realized whenever I handed it off to you that Mojo and the Sailfish would be an amazing band name. Sorry, I know this
I
has nothing to
agree.
do with the pick, but I just had to say.
Slippy can probably play bass.
Heck yeah, there we go.
That's how it fits with the pick. Smart.
Perfect.
Good work.
Okay, Arizona is now on the clock.
Yeah, Arizona's on the clock, and they will select one of their GMs, Z-Wiz, Spody Odopalicious,
Reach. Now I'll
for
say
sure.
Reach.
Absolute reach. Trash garbage. Also could have traded down to 27. I just now read their note, and it says Z-Wiz just sent the GIF from Happy Gilmore where Bob Barker says, "This guy sucks." So that's
So,
the
yeah.
notes that we have.
At least Z-Wiz agrees with us, I guess.
Yeah, I guess. So they reached. Andy's bad, so Yikers pick from Arizona, but you got to do what you got to do, I guess. Them's the rules.
I guess so. All right. Next up, we have New Orleans.
All right, and now New Orleans gets to claim the fame of trading down to the 27th pick to pick their GM. So with the 27th pick, New Orleans selects Elisar Jones, user Mithrandir, and Myth was the one who sent notes. He didn't send me very much about himself. He just said he will be switching positions to quarterback to take over at that spot eventually. But as GMs, we've each and every one of us interacted with Myth in the management servers and in trades and negotiations, and it's just great to see Myth going home here to the New Orleans second.
Yes, Myth is a great guy. That being said, Reach.
Yeah, definitely reach, but I mean less of a reach because they did trade out to 27.
Correct.
But yeah, Myth is fantastic. Reach aside,
Reach aside.
good person.
Yes.
Good person.
All right, Russ, you're on the clock now. I wonder who you're going to select.
Now listen, everybody forgot that San Jose had picks in this draft, and what they're going to realize is they're all coming up right now.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, with the 28th pick and the last pick of the second round, as late as you can possibly do it, we did in fact select myself,
Reach.
the biggest reach. That's for sure.
Yes.
There it is, a potato with the saber cat on it. That's gorgeous and beautiful. My player is in fact a potato, but he has in fact caught footballs as well, which is pretty wild.
Impressive.
So you can call this a reach if you want, I suppose, but we, by the rules, literally couldn't take me any later, so you got to do what you got to do. And
Apparently, you're also a trendsetter because there's more vegetables coming in the DSFL draft.
now, I mean, I'm not gonna take credit for any of that, but it is kind of cool to see a little revolution start. You know what I'm saying? So,
Did you just call a potato a vegetable?
dude,
I
they're
said
all
earlier.
vegetables.
It's
They're all
a-
vegetables.
It's a rude vegetable.
They're all
It's a
veggies.
tuber. It's a tuber.
No, a tuber is in a band. Goes toot
Adam,
toot.
yeah, in Mojo and the Sailfish.
Yes,
The
we
best
did it!
tuber.
Let's go!
Good. Okay. New
All right,
Orleans is
best
on
draft
the clock.
stream.
New Orleans.
Yeah,
is on the
move
clock.
move on from this.
All right. Well, I think we are up to the first pick of the third round, or pick 29. And with that, the New Orleans second line select Chim Rickles, defensive end from the Kansas City Coyotes, user Django Rhino, or Django. And Myth has this to say about Django. This pick continues on our theme for this draft. We drafted enthusiastic and passionate people, and Django is certainly passionate. He's one of the best graphics people in the league, and his friendship with people on our team. We think he's a great fit for us and a great draft value in the third round. Django, please enjoy your time in New Orleans locker room.
I have to say something that I think
Okay.
Django would like to be mentioned. Django is the proud owner of a third nipple, and that's true.
That is true.
That's true.
We've seen it.
I think he would
we've
like
seen
that to be shared on the stream. So
That is good knowledge to have. And also, that is some creamy linguine.
definitely. Weird that he kept the render, but
I'm not sure that he did. I don't know about that one, but
maybe
we'll see.
they just found it from his last.
I think that came from a glitch that we didn't change the render name on the sheet. That's
Yeah, a bit of a
probably what it is.
coincidence, eh?
Yeah. Okay. Well, next up we have Russ again and the San Jose SaberCats.
Meow meow, here we go. We have back-to-back picks here, and I think we lucked out on both of them. So at 30, we have selected Dane Johnson Jr., user Rocketman13 from London. And offensive line, I feel like for a little while got kind of saturated, but has slowly died out here. So it's certainly something we've been looking for a long time. But Rocketman, I think he was a slow starter to the league, but has since picked it up and is really getting enthusiastic and starting to blast through some TP tasks and really getting active. And London does a great job in their locker room getting people active and sticking with it. So we're very excited about this one, and hopefully we can get some offensive line presence to help out old Yaya Ding Dong. So we found this one, which is fantastic in the third. And then, back to back, we have another pick here. And we went with Tyron Brackenridge Jr., user Lowly Crib. Now, this is a pick that I love making because Brack is a San Jose legend. He was actually he was the top linebacker on the team when I was drafted to San Jose back in season 22. And so I sort of like modeled my player after him, and he was always sort of in the locker room hanging out. He's our statistician, like team historian. So he's had a few players in the league, and we were excited to see him recreate. He took a little time off. He may take this one a little more casually, but he's also one of those players where it says 84 TP, but I think his current update is around like 100. So he's probably closer to 200 TP than he is 84. So we're really excited about this one and getting this one as late as we did as well. And we're really happy to get Brack back in the locker room, and hopefully he's happy to stick around and see what this player can do and fall in the shoes of his old linebacker, Tyron Brackenridge. So
Yeah, if Junior has half the career that Senior had, it's
yeah, we'll take
fantastic
it.
pick here.
We will definitely take it.
Okay, now the New Orleans second liner on the clock.
Yes, and with the 32nd pick, the New Orleans second line select Michael Patrick Porkins, running back from the Tijuana Luchadors, user Spec. I have this to say from Myth. Beck has quite the reputation as the greatest GM in league history. His player, a fullback, should be a great fit in our power running offense, and as a user, he brings a lot of knowledge and experience. We also expect to have a lot more NFL talk in our locker room after drafting him. Nola has a great pick here.
What a great name for a fullback. Porkins. Love it.
It's actually very fun to say.
It is. Okay, next up we have New York.
With the 33rd pick in the season 24 ISFL 34, not 24, ISFL draft, the New York Silverbacks select Nacho Macho Man. He's a tight end from Bondi Beach. User is Not So Good 88. And either Zan or Roche has this to say. There's a lot to like about nachos. They are one of the most underrated foods. Gonna argue that. They are not underrated, they're amazing. They're a perfect mix of flavors and textures that should excite everyone. Just like the food, our next pick is someone we believe to be incredibly underrated. They have been consistently earning in the SFL, and they have been a very good user in a few other leagues. We are excited to bring Nacho Macho Man to the concrete jungle. Personal note, Not So Good. I absolutely loved scouting this guy. I think it's the EFL maybe. He's a GM and has like 7 or 30 jobs over there. Great new young user. Gonna probably pretty quickly replace their season 24 tight end over there. So New York got a great pick here. Congratulations. Not So Good.
Yes, congratulations. And next up we have Honolulu.
Honolulu selects with pick 34 of the ISFL draft safety Matthew B., user Fetchwell from the Minnesota Grey Ducks. And they had this to say about Fetchwell. It said, Fetchwell is Minnesota's first round pick and on a really great path before a busy life schedule interrupted their time in the ISFL, but they're back and engaged, and we believe Fetchwell could be the steal of this draft. So congratulations, user Fetchwell, on being drafted to Honolulu.
Yeah, I have painted the Minnesota GM in my war room, and he had been pounding the drum for Fetchwell. So I reached out to Ice Bear after they made this pick and asked him what Fetchwell would cost, and Ice Bear said not for sale. So apparently they think very highly of Fetchwell. So hopefully they have a
Hardball. I taught him that. Good work, Ice Bear. He's a negotiator.
There was no negotiating to be had.
That's the best negotiation, baby. Let's go.
Okay, next up, Colorado is on the clock.
Yes, with the 35th pick of the draft, Colorado selects Benny Hanna, tight end from the London Royals, user Doom Raider. And the Colorado GMs have this to say: we were very happy to see Doom Raider available at this pick. In our scouting conversation with them, they seemed driven by winning an Ultimus and said they were willing to do whatever the team needed to accomplish that goal. We see Doom getting called up in a future season and helping us out at TE or OL. Welcome in. And on a personal note, I've interacted with Doom a number of times, and just a really fun user. Knows their way around the league, and I think Colorado has a really good value here at pick 35. I hope that Doom enjoys his time in Colorado.
Like the render too. I don't know if eating his future team is a great idea, but whatever. So next up we
We'll
have
see how it plays out,
Yeah.
Bold strategy.
All right, next up we have Philadelphia.
With the 36th pick in the Season 34 ISFL Draft, the Philadelphia Liberty select a trade. And
Bro, we
luckily-
wilding on these trades. We got crazy.
And luckily, I also read for New York, so this is a nice, clean transition. New York is trading 2 fourth-round picks to Philadelphia to come up here and pick in the 3rd round at 36 overall. And with the 36th overall pick, New York selects Ian Cole III, a kicker from Portland, and that is user Dat Small Boy. And then this to say, as soon as we made our last pick, we knew there was only one other user we desperately wanted. DSB has had great success with his last player, Sean Snyder, and helped us win 2 Ultimuses in his career here. When we realized he would likely not make it to our pick in the 4th round, we decided to trade up and offered 2 4th-round picks to get a higher pick, and luckily Philadelphia was willing to make that deal happen. We are super excited to have DSB back on our roster and for Ian Cole to be our kicker of the future. And also big ups to DSB for his just wild copy pasta thread he did a couple weeks ago. Gives you a lot of good stuff for Discord use right there.
Yeah, I saw this pick coming a mile away after they traded. Zane reached out to me wondering if he could trade up, and I was like, you want DSB, don't you? And he was like, yeah, you caught me. So
as soon as they made it, I was like, oh, duh. Of course that's why they're trading up.
Right.
Makes sense.
Okay, next up, the Austin Copperheads are on the clock.
All right, and with the 37th overall pick, the Austin Copperheads select Larry Jenkins, offensive lineman from Tijuana. That is user Peyton M34. In the 3rd round, we, Austin, decided to grab offensive lineman Larry Jenkins. Peyton is a user who has been around the league for a while. That's underselling it. And we are very glad to bring him in. At offensive line, he will be a big help when we call him up in a few seasons while he helps Tijuana. Welcome to Austin, Peyton. Just kind of a funny story. I remember when Peyton recreated on this player, it was after the last draft when Tijuana got Speck and Sloth, and he just like randomly popped in and was like, oh shoot, Speck's here now. I'm going to recreate. And as they say, the rest is history. Peyton's just a league legend, if you will. So it's cool to see him back and active in the league again, and I hope he does well for Austin.
It's not often that you see someone that you wanted to draft get drafted right before your pick, and you're actually kind of happy about it. But I was kind of happy because we were down to 2 people, and Peyton was one of them, and it saved us the time of debating, so we were able to put our pick in pretty quick. So, with pick 38, the Chicago Butchers select running back Ians Ul Gon. I don't know if that was how you are supposed to say it, but Muford told me that was close enough. User Scory Corey. So Corey is a user that I don't think has any right to have fallen this far, and I actually have a theory on why this happened. I just realized yesterday that the only mutual server that Corey and I have anymore has nothing to do with the ISFL. Me, Corey, and Muford, who's a wide receiver for the Butchers, we were all in a Halo League together for a few months. So when Muford and I saw Corey on the board, we were trying to figure out what was up, and then we realized that that's our only mutual server. So I have a feeling that not every team was able to scout him. But anyway, yeah, Corey is a awesome person. I know him from the Halo League. He's really fun to play games with, so I'm super excited that we got him. And next,
Beer surrender is pretty dope, by the way.
What'd you say?
The beer surrender is pretty dope.
Oh, I don't know what that is, but it is.
Oh, Russell Weeb.
Big weeb.
Wow, yeah, Dragon Ball Z, the most weeb anime. Thanks.
All right. Next up, we have Mojo and the Sailfish again.
Yes. So, needing some more members for our band, we are going to pick at 39 Mustache Santoso, or Mustache Santoso, kicker punter, user Saliva from the Norfolk Seawolves. Now, I feel a little bit left out because I feel like Sarasota was maybe one of the only ones that didn't trade this draft. But going into this draft, kicker punter was a hole we desperately needed to fill with the retirement of the all-time great Jacob Small. We had no kicker on the roster at the start of the draft, and we're exploring our options with free agents and draftees. Saliva is a returning user, and while he hasn't been as active a player, his earning could still set him up really well to be a solid addition to our team at kicker punter. And we hope that joining the Selfish locker room and meeting fish, particularly those that are in WSBL and other sister leagues, gets him excited to join us, just as we are excited to have him join. So welcome to Sarasota Saliva.
San Jose was in the same boat as well with kickers, and we saw DSB go, and then we saw Saliva go, and we were very sad.
Mojo, what spot in the band is Mustache? Is he it sounds like a lead singer to me.
It does.
Yeah, that's a front man. That's a Freddie Mercury front man mustache.
Yeah, definitely a singer, and like I could definitely see some weird accompaniment, like give him
Harmonica.
a maraca or a cowbell. Ooh, a harmonica. And
Yeah, for sure. Watch that mustache rest on top of the harmonica. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
that's
yeah,
a
yeah.
weird mental image, but
No,
okay.
it's not. You've not been to any blues clubs.
I can confidently say that I have not.
But the Arizona GMs definitely have, and they are on the clock.
Yes, they are.
And they have selected Coutinho Mobley, user Stupid Ugly Idiot, which is, I'm going to put it out there as an all-timer. That's a fantastic username. They said in their notes, cornerback was a big need for them, and they didn't think one of the top earning corners would fall to them this far in the third, but they wound up getting lucky. And he'll be someone to come in and replace some of their regressing CBs when the time is right. So he's probably got a little more time in the DSFL. I'm sure Dallas is happy about that, but that is a pretty high amount of TPE for this late in the draft. So that's a
Now,
good pick from Arizona.
Were you guys able to find Stupid Ugly Idiot on Discord?
I was not, and he
No,
is not
this
in the
is
Dallas
one-
locker room.
This is one that I'm pretty sure is maybe one of the most anomalous players in the history of the league, and is like earning very well and just on the forums. I don't think
So he used to have a Discord. He was actually drafted in S22 to Chicago, but he went IA after a while. I thought I found his Discord, but I never got a response. So that explains why he fell so far with so much TPE. But
yeah,
my war room wanted us to draft him so bad they kept referring to him as Mystery CB, and Crody was the lead of that movement. But I could not bring myself to draft someone that I couldn't find on Discord.
the Great Crody is a leader of many movements,
Absolutely.
and usually you should follow them. So, oops.
We'll see how this one works out. Next up, Orange County. Oko is on the clock, and with the 41st pick in the draft, Oko selects tight end JJ Lopez Daniels, user A Cup of Bread. Shrub had this to say about the pick. He says, "A Cup of Bread is an excellent value pick this late in the third. We were surprised that they fell this far, and we had to jump on the opportunity to take them. I can't wait to see their impact on the field. Welcome to the team." We considered A Cup of Bread at our last pick, so I was a little bit surprised to see him keep going. But
Yeah, I like Cup of Bread in Kansas City. I think they're going to come on and they're going to catch on pretty quick here, and I think could be definitely one of the better picks in the later half of this draft for sure.
I agree. And now, Baltimore is back up.
And they found some serendipity with this pick, I think. So at 42, Baltimore selects Orange Justice, a running back, Gator Matthew. And they said in their notes that Gator wrote an incredible 1,800-word media post about 10 minutes before the draft and said that they had the coolest branding in the league. So that alone put them on the board for them. And I mean, how can you not draft them with this situation that fell into their hands with that? So they're gonna earn well and hopefully be a great player for the Hawks for years to come. And apparently playing for the brand that they love the most. So